talk about how to find your pattern for table topics. Well, before that, his answer to my question was, I rent a house, but it takes me about 20 minutes from residence to workplace. What can I say? I just love the place I live.
Where I live, yes.
Because usually you rent a house, you want this place, the more closer to your workplace, the better. But he's a strange man. Anyway. Let's welcome Circle.
If you rent an apartment which as dry as I have, you will reduce to leave. Alright, let's get started. This is a workshop about table topic. For guests, perhaps you have no idea what they're supposed to mean. Table topic basically means impromptu speech, which means someone asking you a topic, a question, and you try to reply your best within 1 minute to 3 minutes. You have to come up with the idea very fast. Before I start to share my trick about table topic, I feel I have to convince you to love table topic, as I do first, because the major reason that you can do good in table topic will be practice. You have to practice a lot, and you have to love it to do that amount of practice. So why table topic in individual evaluation? I believe is the most important section among whole Toastmaster activity. Imagine there's an attractive girl, can't do attractive enough for me. You meet her in a social activity, let's say spring camp of Toastmaster, and you decided to strike a conversation, and she asks you some question. You have to figure the best answer you can ever come up to give her a great impression. Sounds familiar, right? Table topic. Imagine you're having a meeting with the manager of your manager, his manager. A very serious man. I don't even know who this man is, but I picked his picture because he looks serious. I don't really know him. If you know him, you can tell me, okay? And after a very long, crazy Zoom meeting, he said, "Hey, Circle." By the way, Circle is my name. If you feel confused, that's reasonable. So, after a crazy long meeting, this manager suddenly decided to pick up some victim, asking, "What comment do you have about this whole meeting?" And you have to reply like within 3 seconds. Otherwise, he will feel like, "Oh, you didn't pay attention. You spaced out." Why is that? Table topic. So table topic should be the activity, the session that associate our life the most. That's the reason why I think table topic is so important. People judge you by the reply you deliver within any kind of topic you strike out. I copied this slide from a previous show in FJU, Fuxinggang University, but if we don't have time, I will skip the practice. So don't be worried about it. You have to do the practice. Before I first draft this workshop, I do a tiny survey and pick up the most frequent asking, be asked, question about table topic. The nightmare which will come up to you, which you will encounter when you reply to a topic. And the top one is you don't understand the question. You have no idea what the topic master was asking. And that question, first time I hear this question is from Eric. So, what do we do within this time, this kind of situation? For instance, question: do you believe in star sign? Why or why not? Basically, if you don't have any idea what star sign is addressing, you don't know how to reply this question. You have no idea. You have to figure that you have no knew this vocabulary, so to answer this question. The simple, most solid way to sort this out is study very hard to know all the English vocabulary. So it's almost impossible, but that's the right way. When I was on another table topic workshop hosted by Eric Ma, someone else asked him this question. That's what if I don't understand the question? Then the very first time, I saw Eric freeze on the stage because he was so brilliant. It never ever happened to him. So he don't understand the question. So he don't know how to reply this. So you're lucky. Here is the solution. Whenever you find that you have no idea about the question, there is a technique. I call it refactor, which means rebuild the question to something you're capable to answer. So, back to the question. I need another example. A better example. Because if you have a 100% no clue, then it will be very difficult to reply the question, right? Like, do you believe in star sign? The clue is quite tiny. The only clue that can lead you to something is the verb, believe. So it's about believing, right? So you can guess. Find a clue in the context and try to generalize the idea, the intent. For instance, star sign is not a very great instance, but anyway. It's about you believe something. If you don't know star sign, but you know it's about believing, right? So you can assume this type of question is asking about if you are kind of superstition type of person. And based on that, you can rephrase the question. Create a new question, like, I don't believe, reply like this. I don't believe in star sign. In fact, I don't believe any kind of things which don't really have solid scientific base. I'm that kind of person. Then you can share something about why you believe in science, some story that you had a pride during the science class when you are very young, like elementary school, and then you become a mad scientist, something like this. Then back to the topic. So in short, I'm not just don't believe in star sign. I don't believe anything which without solid science base, and I encourage you to do the same because science, I believe, is what will make our society better. Got the idea? Okay. But still, the best way, study very hard and try to understand all the possible vocabularies. Second, what is this? Tennis. How many of you will watch tennis?
Watch? I play.
You play?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
For
How many of
30
you?
years.
30 years. Nice for you. I don't do much exercise. Personally, I don't like any kind of exercise. Anyway, but I believe some of you have no idea about tennis, right? Could you please raise your hand if you don't familiar with tennis? Okay, okay. So, question. Who is a better player? Federer or Nadal? When people asking this question, and I see this picture, I'm wondering, I don't even know which one is Federer. How can I answer this question? There's no clue, right? So, what to do when you found out that you're not familiar with the topic? Similar. Another technique called bridging. So, I have no idea about tennis, but as a software engineer, I have idea about technical domain. So, when I heard this question, I can replace it, I can bridge it into something I know. So, I don't know, I know neither Federer or Nadal, but I do know Gates and Steve. Like we're so close, I called their name. So, although Steve is brilliant and have crazy talent and very demanding, Gates don't really have that level of talent, although he's as well very demanding. But he can still do well. Why? Because he works smart. He directly copied what Apple already had and make a crazy strong law department which can win all kinds of suits. Then he proved it. What this story told us, work smart is more important than work hard. So although I don't know which is the better player, Federer or Nadal, but I believe who practice smarter will win more contests. Bridging the topic you are not familiar to something you can reply. Okay, this one is terrible for me. Sometimes you're just not happy to answer. You have the exact answer, but you're not happy to share. You feel like, oh, if I say something like that, people will feel I'm a terrible person. Yeah, pain in the ass. Your weakness, your downfall. What to do? Actually, very simple. You can just do the objection. Oh, wait. For instance, question. Who inside the room you hate the most?
You.
I didn't asking you. It's just a phrase. I have to come up my conclusion, but thank you for your reply. So, if you don't have a victim like me, you can say it straight. You don't want to hurt anyone. What to do? Very simple. Oh, I'm such a nice guy. I can't hate anyone because everyone here inside this room are so lovely. All the audience love me. I can't hate them. Directly disagree to the topic. And you know what? Usually, people will like your reply when you just put out the objection to the topic. Okay, last one. What would you do when you have no idea what to say? You just basically blank. perhaps you have many answers, but you don't know which to pick. For instance, what's your favorite movie? Quite hard, right? Sounds easy, but actually quite hard because there are tons of movies will pop up your mind and which one I should pick. Which is simple. Say the first things pop up your mind. Then extend it. For instance, oh, there is so many different movies I like. I like Jurassic Park, I like Star Wars, I like, Godfather. Then you finally make the decision which is Godfather. You can elaborate after that. But don't freeze on the stage. Start with the first things pop up your mind. So 4 questions, 4 technique. Start from if you understand the question. If you are familiar with the question, if you're happy to answer, if you have any idea what to say. You have to go through this flow. Here, within 5 seconds. Do you think it's possible? Not very likely possible, right? So, a simple version, which is my pattern. But I highly recommend you to come up your own pattern because my pattern probably not going to fit how your brain works. So, what your lesson? Simple version. First, come up with the conclusion. Because usually, when you hear one question, you usually will have a conclusion. The only problem is that if you're happy to reply the answer or not. So decide the conclusion first, if you are going to do the objection. Then, open it. You have to come up with a conclusion when the topic master pick you. And you can decide what to do with the opening on the way you walk to the stage. Then, after speak out the opening, expand the body during the progress. So this is my pattern. This is how I usually deal with table topic. How many times I have left? 16 you have. Already over time. So I recommend you to download this app, which will generate table topic question by categories. You can choose which ones. Yeah. When I prepare the contest, I use this to, simulate every day, 1 question a day, so you can download it. All right, my session is over time already. Back to the